It begins in the desolate ruins of a human settlement, where a tiny, fierce child, Oraya, is discovered by Vincent, the formidable Nightborn king. Despite her small size and vulnerability, Oraya's unyielding hatred and defiant spirit captivate the king, who sees a reflection of himself in her. He takes her, a lone human, Serpent, in a world of vampires, back to his opulent, yet dangerous, House of Night, a decision that centuries later, historians would mark as the beginning of an empire's downfall. Years later, Oraya has grown into a formidable warrior, trained by Vincent in the brutal ways of survival. She secretly hunts rogue vampires in the human districts of the House of Night, a perilous act for a human, but one that provides her with a perverse sense of control and rebellion. Her life is a constant tightrope walk between her human vulnerability and the ruthless strength Vincent has instilled in her. She finds a kindred spirit in Alana, an old human bloodbender, whose irreverent spirit and defiant approach to life offer Oraya a glimpse of a different kind of humanity. The imminent Kejari, a deadly, century-old vampire tournament orchestrated by the goddess Nyaxia, casts a long shadow over Oraya's existence. Her ultimate goal is to win the Kejari, not for glory, but to earn Nyaxia's gift of becoming Vincent's Coriade, a heart-bound vampire, strong enough to find her lost family and finally feel safe. Vincent, too, sees this as her only path to true power and protection in a world designed to destroy her. The tournament begins unexpectedly, thrusting Oraya into the Moon Palace, a mysterious, shifting arena. The initial phase is a brutal, chaotic free-for-all, designed to thin the ranks. Oraya discovers, to her horror, that humans are being used as live bait, drawing the bloodlust of the contestants. Among the screams, she hears Alana's familiar cry. Driven by a desperate need to save her friend, Oraya abandons caution, plunging into the fray. She is stopped by a mysterious male vampire, Raihn, who cryptically warns her that Alana and the other humans are already dead. In a fit of grief and rage, Oraya stabs him and continues her futile search, only to find Alana's brutally mutilated body. Overcome with a cold fury, Oraya exacts her revenge on the Raihn vampire responsible for Alana's death, burning her friend's remains as a final act of defiance. The remaining contestants are summoned, and Oraya, still reeling from her loss, meets her fellow competitors. She quickly identifies allies and threats, including the intimidating Bloodborne leader, Angelica, and the subdued Raihn, Ibrahim. It is during this gathering that Raihn, the vampire she stabbed, makes a dramatic entrance, revealing his powerful Asteris magic and killing a fellow contestant, making it clear that the rules of engagement are far more brutal than anticipated. Raihn approaches Oraya, proposing an alliance for the upcoming half-moon trial, which requires teamwork. Despite her deep distrust of vampires, Oraya, wounded and vulnerable, reluctantly agrees, sensing a pragmatic advantage in his offer. He offers her a powerful healing potion, a gesture of unexpected kindness. During their initial training, Oraya and Raihn clash, their contrasting fighting styles and inherent mistrust creating constant friction. Raihn pushes her, demanding she let down her guard, and in a moment of frustration, Oraya unleashes a burst of uncontrolled magic, sending him flying through a window. This raw display of power both surprises and intrigues him. As days turn into weeks, Oraya and Raihn continue their uneasy alliance, their nights spent training and patrolling the human districts. Mish, Raihn's cheerful and magically gifted friend, joins their training, her open nature a stark contrast to their guarded personalities. Oraya discovers that Raihn, a turned Raihn vampire, is capable of compassion and deeply committed to protecting innocent humans, a revelation that challenges her ingrained prejudices. He, in turn, recognizes her hidden strength and defiance, seeing beyond her perceived human weakness. A sudden attack on the Moon Palace, orchestrated by unknown forces, throws the competition into chaos. Raihn, consumed by panic for Mish's safety, sweeps Oraya into his arms and flies them both through the burning city. Mish is found severely injured, near death, and her withdrawal from the Kejari is shockingly rejected by Nyaxia's priests. In a desperate act of compassion, Oraya sacrifices her last healing potion to save Mish's life. Vincent, the Nightborn king, reveals the attack to be the work of Raihn rebels, a long-simmering conflict that has now erupted into full-scale war. He, too, has been fighting, his face grim and stained with blood. Oraya confronts him about the human casualties during the trial, questioning his ruthless methods and the supposed protections for human lives. Vincent, in his unwavering belief in power and survival, dismisses her concerns, stating that all lives are expendable in the pursuit of dominance. He reveals his intention to make Oraya his Coriade, binding her power to his, enabling her to liberate her ancestral lands. The next trial, the Crescent Moon, plunges Oraya into a poisoned wasteland, a physical manifestation of Saloni, her destroyed hometown. Here, the air is toxic, and the animals, consumed by starving vampires, turn their attackers into mindless, rabid beasts. Oraya, realizing Raihn is in danger, races to save him from succumbing to the poison. She confronts him, forcing him out of his bloodlust and revealing a deep vulnerability within him. Their shared trauma, the realization of Saloni's destruction by Vincent's hand, and the raw honesty between them forge an even deeper connection. In a moment of desperate intimacy, Oraya offers him her blood, trusting him implicitly to heal himself without harming her. Their shared moment culminates in a powerful, intimate encounter that transcends mere physical pleasure, revealing a profound connection between them. The final trial looms, and Oraya and Raihn face the ultimate test of their bond. They confront fragmented, monstrous representations of the white pantheon gods, each possessing unique and deadly powers. Oraya, fueled by a potent blend of grief, rage, and a newfound understanding of her own hidden magic, defeats her opponents with brutal efficiency. She watches as Raihn, too, battles his demons, his strength and vulnerability laid bare. In the climactic final confrontation, Oraya and Raihn, the last two survivors, are forced to face each other. Their fight is a devastating dance of intimate knowledge, each blow aimed with a devastating understanding of the other's strengths and weaknesses. Raihn pushes Oraya to her limits, forcing her to embrace the full extent of her power. In a moment of excruciating choice, Oraya drives her blade into Rain's chest, believing she has won the Kejari, fulfilling her destiny. However, her victory is immediately shattered by Nyaxia's appearance. The goddess reveals a shocking truth. Oraya's wish, made in her grief, has transferred the victory to Raihn, reviving him. Nyaxia then declares Raihn the rightful Rishon heir, bestowing upon him the full power of his lineage. The revelation exposes Rain's true identity as the turned heir of the Rishon king, and unveils his own hidden agenda, to reclaim his lost kingdom and avenge his people. Chaos erupts as the House of Blood, allied with Raihn, invades Sivranaj, initiating a full-scale war. Raihn confronts Vincent, revealing his long-held vendetta and ultimately killing him. Oraya, shattered by her father's death and Rain's betrayal, is engulfed in grief and uncontrollable magic. In the aftermath, a shocking revelation. The heir mark now burns on Oraya's own skin, marking her as the new Hiaj heir, Vincent's true biological daughter and inheritor of his power. Raihn, now king, forces Oraya into a marriage, a political maneuver to consolidate his power and, as he claims, to protect her from other factions. The wedding ceremony is a bitter affair, Oraya refusing to fully commit to the vows, unwilling to surrender her heart entirely. Jesmond, Vincent's loyal general, pledges her allegiance to Oraya, acknowledging her as the new Hiaj queen and offering to fight for her. Oraya, reeling from the whirlwind of revelations and betrayals, confronts Raihn about his deception. He admits to his intricate plan to usurp Vincent and retake his kingdom, revealing the depths of his long-held pain and his unwavering belief in Oraya's strength. He confesses that he orchestrated his own death in the final trial, trusting that Oraya would wish him back to life. Despite the overwhelming betrayal, Oraya cannot deny the profound connection they share, a bond forged in shared suffering and a mutual understanding of the brutal world they inhabit. As their ravaged kingdom burns around them, they stand together, their future uncertain, but intertwined.